guys for being here today. You guys are awesome. Here we go. Are you ready? Chris DeLeon version 2?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. Hello guys, I'm Starlight Skies, and this is Home Team Game Dev Club, meeting 11 of 2019, quarter 3. It is September 15th. Reminder that meetings are recorded, so if you want to go ahead and turn off your camera, feel free to do so. And first up, we have Stebbs for Frightened Foreigner.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, I was multitasking, trying to set up the game and not have to go through the whole beginning of it for you guys. So give me 1 second. Actually, I will not share computer audio today because not get around to debugging those volume issues. So I will just talk about some of the sound stuff this week. All right. So Frightened Foreigner week 10, what we did, Amy set up trigger zones for his layers, which are actually coming together really cool. I was just working on them right before the meeting, and I really wanted to show them to you, but the volumes are all over the place, so I don't want to blast you guys out. But hopefully next week they'll be balanced out and I can showcase them. They're really creepy when you go to the right part of the game and like these weird clock noises are happening or somebody's like banging on the mausoleum door, that kind of stuff. Cornell set up item interaction. So now when you're in the game, you can actually have the item in your hand, give it to somebody, and if it's the correct thing, they give you another item back or something similar happens. McFunky Pants did the creepy bushes, which turns out when you're walking in the game, I think because of the billboard sprites, it looks like you're pushing them out of the way, like you're stepping on them or whatever, which I think looks really cool. Also, Cornell did the empty hand inventory selection. So like if you don't want to have anything in your hand, you have an option in the inventory to select nothing in your hand. Let's see, then I implemented a bunch of the inventory item interaction stuff. I have a little foggy particle ghost floating around, which you'll see in a minute. Did a bunch of voiceovers, visual feedback for solving elements puzzles. So at the end of the game, if you like get water and pour it in a basin, now you can see that there's actually water in the basin after you poured it. Other things like that. There was a little bug in the scrolling text. I took care of that. I made a grave area for the characters. So like in the middle of the game, it looks like somebody is about to bury you. And so there's a little bit more urgency to solve the puzzles and leave the cemetery. Then there's a dirt pile, which was part of a workaround Jamie's layers. I had colliders that were interfering with raycasts or whatever, so I made a dirt pile so that you have to use your shovel to get the dirt from there instead of from the ground. The ground had the colliders conflicting there. And then I added some headstones, a creepy clock, which you'll see. I added a shaking effect to the mausoleum so that it goes along with the banging of the door sound. Oh, and then there's a little bug with the graphics on the ground. It was just, if you put like multiple objects on top of each other, I guess Unity doesn't know which thing to draw. So you kind of have to like make sure they're not on top of each other. And so a quick demo of the game. Here we are, it's dark and creepy. Over here, you can see one of the headstones for the character or the NPC. And here are McFunky Pants' bushes. I don't know if it's going to come across on Zoom, but when you walk through them, it kind of looks like they're getting pushed out of the way. Here's the little grave area. This is your grave. Here's the creepy ghost floating around. And here's the woo. Unity, do your thing. Oh no, you can't see the creepy. Oh, there it is. I guess I'll have to debug that. But the creepy clock is spinning around, and you can see the mausoleum is shaking. Right now, the banging on the mausoleum is not in sync with the actual shaking. So one of the tasks for next week is to sort of do like a reverse animation event. Instead of syncing something to when the animation is occurring, I'm going to go into Fmod and sync the visual effect to when the audio event is happening. And I think that was most of it. So I'm going to get out of Unity, switch over to Trello, or the overview of Trello. So for next week, I want to spend a lot of time myself doing sound effects and visual effects to go for the overall creepy ambient stuff. Most of the mechanics of the game are in place. The game is solvable or winnable. So I want to just dive into my original idea and just make everything sound and look really, really creepy, or creepier than it already is. And then for anybody else, there is a lot of general debugging to do and polishing up of the gameplay. So if anybody's looking for extra tasks or wants to sort of like take on a lot of that, I will not probably be doing that this week. So just ask for things to do if you want them. And that is about it for Frightened Corner. Thank you.
Yay. As we get close to Halloween, I appreciate it more and more. All right, next up we have Anthony for Umbra Shift.
Okay, this is Umbra Shift, week 11. And we've got a few commits this week. Carl has been helping with our animation and our sound effects as we get certain things fixed up and hooked up, and that's working a lot better. I especially like the gunshot sound effects. I've been playing with those a lot. Brian has been working away at our inventory and integrating it with the chat box. We've got some mouse over tool tips to improve the cosmetics and provide some feedback to the player. We have some additional modeling work to the warehouse. Marcel has been kind of tackling that, working with camera placement, level design, doing the modeling. And I've been working on the combat system in a separate staging area, working with shooting, aiming. This week, I've been working with cover and walls to try to make sure you can't shoot at people through walls and things like that, and that it provides the right UI effects, that the UI reacts to that. And you'll see that in a little bit. And then we've got a new donut model to add cosmetic details to the bar and the desks and give some scenes a little more life. We're still working on our first milestone. We're working toward this goal of setting the player starting in the bar area. He talks to the bartender, has a conversation where you get some of the background details, some of the story elements start happening. You get a key card from the bartender, which can then be used on the door, which then takes you to the next level. It's pretty simple, but it integrates all these different systems that we've been working on. And then we'll skip over to the Unity here. Takes a moment. Okay, this is our character generation scene. It hasn't, we haven't quite got this integrated into the level yet, but that is this week's task. We also want to provide some tooltips and feedback here for like what all these different things will do. As it is, we're still figuring that out, but I think we've got most of it kind of set up already. This is our first level. It's our first bar scene. This is where we're going to set milestone 1. It's basically just kind of resolving this scene where we would talk to the bartender. This interact feature isn't quite hooked up yet. And then he would give us our key card. We would go to the bar and then interact with the store, and that would take us to the basement where we meet all our NPCs. Or our contact NPC, who then gives us our first mission. This is my staging area for the combat scene. It shows the kind of the progress we've made since last week on shooting. We have this guy who's behind cover, this guy who's at long range, and then what the main thing we've been working on this week, or that I've been working on this week, is that this guy can't be targeted through the wall. That our UI kind of reflects that, showing where we can shoot, where cover would apply, where it wouldn't apply, where we can't shoot at all. And then the next thing that we're working toward in the shooting area is, well, shooting. And that's as far as we've gotten there. Skipping over to Trello, let's put in a reminder for myself this time. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Here we go. I've reorganized the Trello a little bit, so as we have like 5 weeks left, so a general checklist of tasks wasn't really serving us very well, especially when the tasks were done in layers, so that like when we worked on one thing, it wasn't necessarily finished. It was just kind of where we wanted it right now. We'd go back to it later. So what I felt we really needed was a roadmap of the whole thing, what the whole game is going to look like. And so that's what we have right here. It's not really meant so that, like, you know, when you work on sound and music, for example, you don't mark this done. We're just going to keep going back to it and make sure, do we have sound and music? Is it where we want right now? Do we need to add anything more to this? And to make sure everything here gets kind of touched before moving on to the next level or wherever we want to go. It just helps provide an overview of where we are. I think at this point in the process, it was necessary to kind of switch how we do things. It's a bit of an experiment, so we'll see how it works out. If it doesn't work, we'll just change it back. And that's where we are with Umbra Shift right now. Thank you.
Excellent. Next up, we have Brian for Ghost Rustlers.
Hello. All right. So this is week 5 of the Ghost Rustlers update. Last week's progress, Brian made some improvements or a script to allow sprite import from the skeletal animation system. He's got that it's still a work in progress, so that's still coming along. Krister added a little bit of a wobbliness to the aiming when you're trying to shoot, so you can't really it's not exactly accurate. Sometimes it'll go up and down. I'll show you that in the game. I added an ability to when you're in debug mode, you have unlimited action points just for ease of debugging things and testing stuff. Andrew had a lot of stuff here this week. Improvements to the pathfinding system, the character movement updates, limiting it to the path length. The enemies are using the pathfinding. The camera pans kind of slowly for when there's movement and switching between active characters. There was a bug that he fixed concerning ladders and climbing to the top of the ladders, and he added those cowboy hats from last week to the characters, which we will see shortly. Vaughn also had several updates. He created this boulder here, not in the game yet, but it is added to the slide there. A whoosh sound effect, which I will show you, or I will let you hear it. It's a sound effect that he added. Also not in game yet, but hopefully it will get added before too long. And added some UI updates. And game demo. I'm gonna mute the sound here. You can see the cowboy hats on the, still on the temporary character sprites, but at least they have a nice hat now. And you can see the kind of the path finding network here. And I've got unlimited action, so he climbs up the ladder, jumps down, he can climb up, and then I'm gonna take off debug mode so that the enemy can move. And also here you can kind of see it wobbles just a little bit, so when you're shooting it you got to kind of time it correctly so that you actually hit your shot. Okay. For next week's goals, I'm hoping to maybe get the enemies taking shots at players and having HP be reduced when anybody gets hit. And then I've still got on my list cover object functionality, just something that players can hide behind and make it harder to hit the other characters. And then power up pickup functionality, as well as the sprites that go along with that. And the Trello. Next week will be week 6, and I left the AI on there for the taking shots at the players and hit detection for cover objects, HP decrease, tasks that have to do with the cover, and various art tasks. So sprites, a lot of sprites. Be next week, but coming along very nicely. Thank you guys for adding the updates that you did this week, and that is the update.
Next up, we have H for Kung Tu.
Okay, let's see if we can. It's not going to share computer sound this week. I'll hit it again next week. Okay, so here we go. Kung Tu, this is week 4, so we got 1 month down and 3 to go. Didn't get it in the slides, so I'm going to say it right now while I'm thinking about it. Cornell got in there today and gave us some great feedback after playing the game for a few minutes. So I really appreciate that. And the game is posted on itch.io, and I put in the Pure Critique Slack channel how to get to it and what the password is. So if anybody else wants to jump in there and give us some more feedback, I would appreciate that. So here is Kung Tu for this week. For languages, Krister gave us the last translation that we needed for Japanese, the subtitle of the game, so we got that in there. He had a great response to a tweet that he posted, so that was great to get that in there. Since then, I have added some menu items that had additional text that needs that the players can see, and so all of the languages have new strings that need to be translated again. I think that will continue to be the case for several more weeks. And we'll add more strings that need to get translated. So if you were involved in doing translation already, would be great if you want to jump in there and do the new ones, or if you wanted to wait, or will use Google. Again, still looking for either Han or Mandarin and somebody to look at my Google Translate version of Spanish. Jeff gave us the shadow for the wall. It looks a lot better now. I don't know, you probably couldn't tell. The beauty of it is that it's quite subtle in the game, but it does add a great deal to the depth appearance of the gameplay section. So really appreciated that. And then I recolored the player sprites in order to make them look like bad guys or other students. For audio this week, Jamie gave us, he finished up the boss music and then gave us a first draft of game over music, which is perfect. And still looking for additional gameplay music if somebody wants to do that, so we can alternate that. And if somebody wants to do more boss music, we can do that, so it's not all the same. But we do actually have probably the minimum that we need in order to publish the game as is, so that's great. And special effects still have a few things that we don't have any representatives of, and there's still lots of options in that original grunge that Jeff gave us. So nothing additional added this week, but still plenty of room for special sound effects. For code, Michelle gave us the toggle mute on using the M key, which is great. And Vaughn got the player health bar drawn in there, and Stephanie has indicated that she's interested in trying to work on the actual functionality of that health bar so it shrinks as you are injured by the other students. And Krister gave us some additional game controls, and in doing so, he revealed some wonkiness in some of the state machine that we had going on there. So I did a refactor of that. I think it's working better, but that would be something else I'd be interested in having people look at, play the game, either by downloading it through GitHub or checking it out on itch, and let me know if the controls work and if you like them. I didn't realize how much the two-handed gameplay would how good that would be, but it's a lot of fun. He also gave us a prototype on the help screen and added some drop shadow to the text so it looks a little bit nicer there. That was code for this week. So I'll switch to a quick demo of the game. Maybe. Here we go. So here's what it looks like with the Japanese translation on the subtitles, so appreciate that. And get into gameplay. So you can sort of see, let's see if I can get past this guy. So you can see kind of how it scrolls by. You can see the drop shadow in here. It's kind of subtle, but it really adds a lot to it. And added kind of this pause screen, and the buttons work, except for controls. That doesn't go to anything yet, but you can go to help, and then you can quit. So that was a lot of the work that I was doing the last couple of days. So that's the demo. So we'll switch over to the Trello and take a look at that. So here we are. This is for next week. We still have a few things that are in progress, and I've been moving stuff over as we go, so this column is kind of long. So don't forget to scroll down if you're taking a look at the Trello here. And I've moved a few of the things down into later weeks, and so some of these other weeks are getting fairly lengthy as well. But you know, like I said, we've got the minimum we need in a lot of areas, and so we're just making the game better as we go, and that's what a lot of this is. So that's the Trello for this week, and that is actually all of Kung Fu for the week. Thank you.
All right, the time has come. Is Vince here?
It doesn't look like it, no. I wonder if maybe we should do the how was your weeks and then come back and see if he's here by then.
All right, it'll be a little different, but so Vince for Little Razors is supposed to be released today, but he is not here currently, so we'll just wait a little bit. I'll go ahead and go on to the past week of GitHub check-ins. So we have Andrew, Anthony, Axman, Brian, JB, Brian N, Carl, Charlene, Chris, Edgar, H, Jamie, Claim, Cornell, Marcel, McFunkyPants, aka Krister, Michelle, Randy, Simon, Stebbs, Vaughn, and Vince. Thank you guys so much for contributing. We appreciate it as we are moving into fall. Office hours are available at gamketo.com/members. And Chris is returning in a few days. Yay! Awesome. schedule and office hours in chat. Yeah. Weekly quick thought. What genre would you like to prototype to pitch? Next meeting is Sunday, September 22nd, and we have a possible speaker. So we shall see. And we have no speaker, no rush this week. How was your week? And we are starting with Tim.
Yeah, pretty good week. I've been playing a fair bit of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which I'm really enjoying. I would play an entire game just wandering around the jungle looking for things hidden in the undergrowth. I would literally play that without any trouble at all. I don't mind a bit of combat, but I actually quite like the exploration more than the combat. So yeah, quite enjoying that. I also got a new laptop, so I spent a lot of time setting that up, and I'm in fact recording on the new laptop now, so I hope it's all working. It seems to be working. It always seems to take a lot longer getting everything installed that you want installed and all that other stuff, so I'm glad it's finally in a position where I can start to use it for what it's intended for, which is game development and other things like that. We also had my sister and my niece and nephew come around this weekend, so we had a lot of fun playing Duck Game and Gang Beasts and going and picking blackberries in the local fields. That was fun. Yeah, it's been a pretty good week. That's me. Over to you, Star.
So it was my birthday, and it was a weird birthday because I'm 33, and I turned 33 on Friday the 13th, and it was a full moon. So I was just like, I don't do anything for my birthday that much, but like this year I'm like, it's a weird thing. So why not? So I was just like, just ask everyone I know in Discords, like, is anyone local? Do you want to do anything? Because I work so much remotely, I don't really have a lot of friends here. So I ended up going by myself for North Market, which is like this big marketplace with like 20 different restaurants, like sampled all the food. And then I had stream and I played Frog Detective. You guys should definitely play Frog Detective. It's really cute. And then I played another game. And then I went out and I played arcade games all night. And unfortunately, my friend beat me in Tapper, which was my favorite arcade game. So I'm a little sad, but it's so good. Yeah, so I had a great birthday. And I'm already working for Fig, which is the crowd publishing platform. And I've been working with Gearbox to do Homeworld 3. So that's still going on. On top of that, like I'm doing a whole new website page for them. And on top of that, I also started working at Superhot. So if you ever played that indie game, they are starting to do a fund to help other indies like Frog Detectives, their first one. And they're Polish. So I'm learning a lot about kind of European culture of game development, which is like their language and how they talk is like very different than the American way of doing it. And it's like really interesting. I'm like learning like it feels like learning different cultures and stuff like that. And learning different types of studios, how they operate. So I'm really excited. It's been really good, but extremely busy. So that's me. H, how are you?
Good. I had a great week. Coming up on my anniversary in a little while, so I told my wife that when she sees a weird charge on the credit card, that it was me buying her a gift, and not to dig into it too much. And so the next day she's like, I saw that you bought a video game. That's not my gift, is it? I was like, oh, no, I bought Celeste for myself, but thank you. So I've been trying to decide each moment when I sit down in front of my computer, am I going to play Celeste or am I going to work on Kung Fu? But life is hard. Those are tough decisions. So I've been working on that. But other than that, it was exactly life balance. Other than that, it's been a great week because I've been able to focus on those things. So that was it. Thanks.
Celeste is really difficult. Brian, how was your week?
Hey, it was good. I just about 30 minutes before this meeting started, I got back from a game developer festival in St. Louis. So I was spent there yesterday, met some pretty cool people, other game developers, and now I'm exhausted, so I might go take a nap after this.
Is that Pixel Pop?
Yes, it was. Awesome.
I've heard good things.
Yeah. This is the third time I've been there, so it was really good.
I have to check it out someday. Dubs, how are you?
Really good, solid, balanced week. Just Same thing every day. We're gonna wake up, teach, do some game dev, go out for a couple hours, go to sleep. Easy.
Sounds like a good life. Anthony, how are you?
Pretty good. Humble Bundle got BattleTech recently, so I've been playing that. Had a lot of fun with that. Could have a lot more fun if I would let myself be like lost in that, but I'm trying to be disciplined. Other than that, though, I had a weird curve thrown at me on Friday. They're doing a massive restructuring at my job, so I have no idea what my job is now. My whole department is gone. My boss has been let go. Everyone around me who sits next to me is relocated, and so other people are coming from the other parts of the office, and they're going to be in my area, and I don't really know what I'm doing. So yeah, next week should be interesting.
Oh man. All right. Well, tell us an update later. Vince, so glad you're here. So right now, we've already done everything else in the meeting. So we're doing How Was Your Week right now, and then we'll do the release.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Krister, how was your week?
I had a lovely week, although nothing really exciting happened. It was just one of those great weeks where mostly everything was fine. I had both people in my family get a little bit sick, so I ended up not getting as much work done this week as I wanted, but it's just work. So actually, life is great.
Awesome. Jeff, how was your week? Good but busy, also working on that life balance. May take some computer time since work has kept me late a lot lately. Okay. Don't forget to sleep. That's so important. There is somebody else. Okay. Well, Vince, how was your week?
Sorry about that. I muted it, opened up different windows. Week's been going really good. My daughter just turned 4 this week, so I spent the week preparing for her party, and yesterday it went fantastic. So, and then finishing up Little Racers, just an exciting week.
Oh, Vaughn, I think you're back. I think you're the last person. How was your week? I don't know if Vaughn heard me. Give it a few more seconds. Typing probably. Yeah. Week was good. Excellent. Got disconnected. Yep, totally understandable. All right, so let's do this. Vince for Little Racers release. Yes. Woo! Thank you, Vince, for being here and excited to see the release.
Yep, sorry, I was preparing Windows, so just got back to the Zoom. So yeah, let's do this. Let's look at the slides for this week. I saw that there was an extra commit from Randy Tan, so great job today. Let me make this full screen. All right, now I'm ready. All right, Little Racers, finally, it's release day. 12 weeks, we had 21 contributors, 445 total commits, but actually we just had an extra one, so it's 446. This week, I took some suggestions. I constrained the race time to just 1.5 minutes, so that gives enough time for...
Sorry, Vince, were you intending to share your screen?
Oh, sorry.
You don't appear to.
I got ahead of myself.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get back to the Zoom. I guess I'm in too much of a hurry. And let's see, share screen.
Yeah, that's done it. Yep.
There we go. All right. Now you guys can see. All right. So Little Racers, week 12, release day, 21 contributors, 446 total commits. This week, as I was mentioning, I took some suggestions and restricted the race time to just 1.5 minutes and fixed some bugs along the way. McFunky Pants had a whole bunch of commits, including 12 in a row at one point. He optimized the fire particle effects fixed the start position so that the cars face the direction that they should be heading in to the first waypoint. Rewrote the collision system because it was basically getting cars stuck in walls, and changed some tiles so that the walls were on the edge, not on the inside, so that you actually hit the wall. And he created a new map, which was really cool, which is the one that we'll demo today. And then he also had mini fix and tweaks to the game, too many to put on one screen. Jeff added some new art, which looks amazing. Jeff did most of the art for this game, so looks very professional from that. The latest one he did was the vehicle upgrade page, and then Chris De Leon added the credits, and then he tweaked the car positions so that they're facing 90 degrees, not at an angle when they start. And then now the exciting part, let's look at the game. Let me refresh this. So we took off the debug screen, and we'll demo with one player. So I'm not sure if you guys can hear the audio, but this is Jeff's too, like doing the audio right there. But you can see like oil slicks, which was added. Hopefully I hit that A waypoint. But this was McFunky Pants' map that he just added. Just overall amazing game. A lot of small details added to the game. And unfortunately, I'm not in debug, so if I miss those waypoints, I'll have to take one extra lap. Or just wait till a minute and a half. Oh, it looks like I ran out of fuel. So that was like one of those cool little additions to the game. We just give it 20 more seconds, we'll be able to get to the next screen.
So I don't think we can actually hear the audio. It's possible you didn't share the audio.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. So let me pressing too many screens.
Okay, it could be.
Actually, I think I just found a bug. But let me just make one quick change to the code so that we can see the next screens, which I think are kind of cool. I'll put in debug mode. So this was Jeff's latest add to the game, which was the car upgrade screen. So I just wanted to show this off really quick and say thanks, everyone. I'll show the credit screen so that we can see all the contributions that were made. But so we have me on here as a project lead. Jeff did a lot of the, sorry, I'll just leave it on there. Let you guys read it. Pressing too many buttons. But just many thanks to everybody who contributed. There's a lot of people who've put in a lot of work into this game, and I think it turned out perfect. So that's it for Little Racers. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. Awesome. Well, that is it for this week's home team clubs. I almost did Gamkita. So close. That's it for home team club. Thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for all your games. Looking forward to see what you guys got going next as well. And Chris is coming back, so it's going to be awesome. So thank you guys so much. See you next time.
Thank you, Star. See you guys.
Bye.